chat? What's up? Chat? Hi guys, I'm almost at the 50 subscribers. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Subscribe. Subscribe, please. Please subscribe. Please. Please subscribe, guys. Please. I really want to get 250 subs. Please, guys. Please. Please. Just do it. Please, guys. Please. At least just one. One. What's up? Please. Please. Uh, Hello. Please subscribe. Please. Guys. Please. 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 Please, guys. Subscribe. Please. Guys. Guys, please, please. Please. Guys, please. Subscribe. 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 Please. Someone subscribe. Someone subscribe, please. Uh, I'm always going to homeless. Please feed, I need this. Subscribe, please subscribe, subscribe, please, please subscribe, 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 please, guys, guys, please subscribe, please, please, guys, you. Thank you for the, thank you, thank you, thank you for the one sub. Yo, shout out. Yo, subscribe, guys. Stop 250 subscribers. Please, just subscribe. Subscribe, please. My mom is going homeless. Guys, please, please, like, just, just 41 more. Guys, please, subscribe, subscribe, please, guys, please, guys, please. Please, guys, subscribe. Subscribe, please. Please. You're the only one. Please. 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 Guys. Please, guys. Please. Just subscribe. Subscribe, guys. My mom wants money and we are poor and we need we need food and I'm hoping to get monetized and that's the story why I want subs. So that's why I have a have a poor phone. It's a bad quality phone. Guys, if you are listening, it is true. Please. We are absolutely poor. And I'm just girls. Please, please guys. You! Thank you, thank you, thank you bro. Wait, my mom is coming. Wow! Wow! How, how did, how did you do that? Um, you need money, right? You need money. Oh! Oh! Okay. Because the thing is, I just got you new shoes right now. What? The shoes? Look! I'm singing for the subscribers because we are poor and we just we just have a cabin and a farm to get food and I have a bad quality phone so I need subs to get monetized. So this is my life today. Please subscribe. Guys, please. Just 30 more subscribers. Like, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Almost there, Ryan. Like, bro. Just 30 more. 30 more. Please. That is just my goal. Do I play Roblox? You guys. Wait. I'm gonna do a poll. guys. Please, guys. Du bist gut genug. Du bist gut genug. Du bist gut genug. I'm singing for the subscribers, so I'm gonna sing Golden Hour. I was all alone with the love of my life. She's got clear of her skin, a radiant beam in the light. I don't need a light to see you shine. It's your golden hour. Oh, you slow down time in your golden hour. Please subscribe. I just sang. Please, I just sing for subscribers. Please, I sing for you. Okay, I'm gonna sing. Life goes on and on and on and on and on. Guys, ready? I'm gonna sing. Life goes on and on and on and on and on and dun, 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 dun. Able to control and I must feed you through the woods when you cannot see back at me. So baby, don't distract me. I'm a gonna I lost her. Like why the hell you wanna play me that way? You're what, babe? You double face on tundra like this. On and 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 on. On and 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 on. Babe, you best believe it. I will rip you up to pieces. I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I light this place on fire. I want it, I'm on it. So babe, at least I'm honest. I get tired of explaining that these seasons keep on changing. Life goes on and 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 on. On and 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 on. Yeah, yeah, you work all day and then I wake up, work all day and then I wake up, work all day and then I wake up, work all day. you gonna say? Tell me that you love me. Lying to my face. You know you don't trust me. Hey, girl, this is such a shame. What a shame. That's when I was his name. So, said I saw on my skin. This is love. I know it is. I know it's so simple to say. I know it's so simple to say. This is what is falling in love. What a shame was my love was a thing. Said a little liar. What you gonna say? Tell me that you love me. Lying to my face. You know you don't love me. Girl, it's such a shame. What a shame. It's my love was a thing. Pretty little liar. What you gonna say? Tell me that you love me. Lying to my face. I know you don't love me. Girl, it's such a shame. What a shame. It's my lover was a snake. What you gonna say? Now my knees, mind on my own damn business. They're trying to find me. Do you really think that I could care if you really don't like me? Find somebody else if you be anyone else out there. No threat. I don't ever wanna see you and I never wanna miss you again. But I've tried the girl, tried it over and over again. Don't fret. I don't ever wanna see you and I never wanna miss you again. Don't fret. I don't ever wanna see you and I never wanna miss you. Sama da bala mana matete mata na mata ifari mana mata pada 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 puso isip'y pandayan ang mga dalangin. Hindi namin malilimutan ang pangalan mo't aral. Kahit saan man kami matungo, pagsinta hindi babago. Para lang elementarya ng balito. O mabuhay ka, alma mater ko. Para lang minamahal. Sa pusikisipay dangal. Badis ka ng karunungan at dangal. Sa puso't isip ay pandayan. Alma mater naming mahal. Hindi namin malilimutan ang pangalan mo at aral. Kahit saan man kami matungo, pagsinta hilig bago. Para lang elementarya ng barito. O mabuhay ka, alma mater ko. Tapos, sa puso't isip ay banda. Sa puso't isip ay bandayan. Alma mater naming mahal. Hindi namin malilimutan ang pangalan mo't aral. magsinto'y hindi babago. Para lang elementarya ng Barreto. O mabuhay ka, alma mater ko. Para lang minamahal. Batis ko ng karunungan. Batis ko ng karunungan at dangal. Sa puso't isip ay pundayan. Alma mater naming mahal. Hindi namin malilimutan ang pangalan at aral. Kahit saan man kami matungo, magsinto hindi babago. Para lang elementarya ng Barreto. O mabuhay ka, alma mater ko.
My mom and her boyfriend walked into my room. We're going in.
I don't know what is going to happen, but let's see in later in the short.
We'll be back at 3 a.m. We trust you. After 3 hours went by, I felt extremely lonely, so I went to grab my Woody Cowboy toy when suddenly he stood up and waved. Howdy, partner.
Bro, that would be weird if your toy just standed up and just just said, "Hey, partner." So okay,
My entire body completely froze up. What is going on? And suddenly, every toy in the toy box stood up and climbed out.
wait. His his has his his story has heterochromia,
Towards me. Peppa Pig and George,
like
SpongeBob, Patrick,
two
Sandy
different
Cheeks,
color
and
dice, guys. You guys know that?
Buzz Lightyear. They hit the floor running, and I slid off my bed into the middle of them, laughing so hard I
Heterochromia.
covered my
See,
mouth. This
see
is
the earth.
insane. Is this
Two
real,
different
or am I
color
dreaming?
dice.
SpongeBob
Did you
laughed.
guys
We're as
see
real as
that?
the Krabby Patty
His
formula.
has
Tell us what you want us to do.
his
We're here until the end of the night.
had
I tilted
a
my head. What happens after that?
green
Sandy
and a
jumped. No
blue
time to explain. Just tell us what you want.
eyes,
6-year-old me
bro.
stood up, not questioning the logic. Dance off. Girls versus boys. They separated to dance.
Bro, I know boys is gonna win, bro. Bro, it's boys. Just boys. Boys. Boys, boys. Boys rule. Girls rule.
And I pointed at Patrick. Do the robot. He completely stiffened himself and started doing the robot like a pro. While Buzz Lightyear beatboxed, I clapped and laughed hysterically like it was the best night of my life, because it was. Perfect! And when we heard the car in the driveway, all of us froze because the night was over, and I had no idea what would happen next. The front door opened, and Woody put his hand on my...
Wait, I'm gonna. I know what's happening. He's gonna get this. Asshole beaten up, bro.
leg. You won't see us again, he said, but I hope we kept you company. My mom started walking up the stairs, and all the toys flopped over. When she opened the door, she flipped on the light and rubbed her face at the mess. What did you do in here? Clean it up and go to bed. When she left, I picked Woody up and waited for him to lift his arm. He stared up at the ceiling, stuffed and still. I held him against my chest anyway and turned off the light. My mom and her boyfriend walked into my... I stared down the range at the target with my hands shaking.
Let me guess. His is gonna miss.
Because if this arrow didn't hit a bullseye, my cousin was getting his face kicked in. Billy had cornered us behind the archery shed with his entire gang around him.
Bro, I did not expect that. Like, bro,
And the counselors were across the field setting up dinner tables. Eric stood behind me with the word piggy still drying in black Sharpie across his forehead. Billy stepped up grinning and put his arm on my shoulder. I win
is gonna get a bullseye? Let's us see first. So, unpause.
Camp. If I hit one, you do whatever you want. Billy laughed and grabbed a bow off the rack. Deal. He pulled back the string smooth like he'd done it 1,000 times and let the arrow fly. It landed an inch outside the bullseye, and his gang erupted behind him. Billy turned to me with that same grin and held the bow out. Your turn, tough guy. I took the bow with my hands, sweating so bad I could barely grip it, lined up the arrow, and started pulling back the string. That's when one of Billy's friends drove his foot into my ribs from the side. I hit the dirt hard, and the bow flew out of my hands. Billy picked it up, walked over to Eric, and shoved the bow into his chest. Change of plans. If Eric wants to be left alone, Eric takes the shot. Eric raised the bow with both arms shaking so hard the arrow was bouncing up and down. Billy laughed from a few feet away. Just let it go, piggy. We're all waiting. Eric closed his eyes and let go. The arrow hit the target with a thud that everyone heard. Bullseye. The whole crowd went silent for a second and then exploded. Even some of Billy's own friends were yelling. Billy's grin dropped off his face. He marched straight at Eric and shoved him backward into the mud patch behind the targets. Stay in the mud where you belong, pig. Nobody cheered. A kid in the back of the crowd said, Dude, he beat you. Billy whipped around. Shut up. Nobody asked you. But the rest of the campers were already pulling out their phones, and his own friends had stepped back from him. Billy backed away and tripped into the same mud patch. Eric pushed himself up, walked over, and picked the bow up off the ground. He looked down at Billy with the Sharpie on his forehead, running down his face from the sweat.
A good ending, bro. Good ending. Unlock.
You look better in the mud. I stared down the range at the target. I was helping the captain steer the Titanic ship in the year 1912 when the lookout
Oh, it's gonna crash on the iceberg, bro. I know it.
on deck screamed, Iceberg right ahead. I immediately moved my elbows to the left to steer the ship in a different direction, but the captain
I was right, bro. Yes! Something right.
grabbed me. Don't stop. We're due to arrive in New York tomorrow morning, and we're the unsinkable ship. Unsinkable ships don't stop for obstacles. 10 minutes later, we heard a crunching sound on the side of the boat. I turned to the captain. We need to make the distress call to every ship in range. He crossed his arms. Absolutely not. We will pump the ship out and we'll be okay. I am not wiring the world that the unsinkable ship stopped for a scratch. Sweat dripped down my forehead because I knew I had a decision to make. I burst into the wire room where we communicated to emergency services through
Bro, what is the captain thinking? Yo, this frame is diabolical. Look at this. Look at bros. Yeah, it's his bus. His butt. His butt is so beautiful.
Morse code. Send the SOS to every ship nearby. The captain immediately grabbed me. I will have your stripes for this. Everyone will know you let me down. I grabbed my hand back. You can have them tomorrow morning after I'm done making sure everyone on this ship survives. Within the hour, the sea came over the bow rail and the deck tilted until deck chairs slid straight into the ocean. My hands were shaking as I swung women and children into the boats, and at 12:30 midnight, the captain finally started panicking. He ordered the live music orchestra to keep playing music until everyone was in the safety boats. I was planning on staying on the ship with him, but the last boat needed an officer at the oars, so I went down hating every rung. From the water, we watched her lights go out row by row. The last time I saw my captain, he was at the wheel that he never let me turn. She went under at 2:20 a.m. and took him with her. 1,500 people froze around us because he would not lose an hour. The sun came up right on schedule, and it was the only thing that did. I was helping the captain steer the Titanic.
Bro, everything is a good ending. Okay.
I set my phone to record and walked into the abandoned house. My best friend Jay was standing in the driveway with our
Then why does this shirt say icy shore? I
emergency gear, including a rope, flashlight, and first aid by his feet. You got
Yeah, you need that. You might get possessed with a devil or something.
this. The challenge is only 10 minutes. I nodded as I squeezed between two boards nailed to the front window. I was going to complete the spook.
Bro, I'm done if I don't handle horror. that much. So I'll be jump scared so many times.
challenge and stay in the haunted house for 10 minutes, post the video, and get the YouTube hype I've been working for. I took a deep breath and nodded as I looked around. 3 years of trying to get my channel noticed so I could show my dad it wasn't a stupid hobby, like he always yelled at me when I wasn't doing whatever he wanted me to do. I waved cobwebs out of my way and walked to what looked like an old living room and sat down. I switched the phone camera to face me. "What's up, gang? Today, I stopped when I heard a cracking noise below me. That was when the floorboards I was sitting on caved in. I reached out, digging my nails into the floor. My body was now half dangling through the hole, and my phone fell into the basement with a thud. I kicked, but there was nothing for me to push against. I screamed, "Jay, help!" My eyes locked on the window I used to get in, but Jay wasn't there. Could he not hear me? My hand slipped. If I couldn't go up, then I had to try jumping down. I inched my body into the hole, and was soon dangling with just my hands holding onto the edges. I looked down, but it was too dark to see anything except for a pointy, splintered board. I couldn't even see where my phone landed. I heard footsteps coming towards the hole, and I screamed again. I heard a loud crunch, and the emergency flashlight flew by my ear. Did Jay fall in too? I looked down and saw that the flashlight revealed several rats crawling on the floor below. I heard more cracking and looked up to see that the floorboard I was holding onto was bending. I screamed as loud as I could. A thick rope rolled down into the hole next to me. I swung over to it and grabbed the rope. I could hear grunting above me, and soon I was crawling on the first floor again, looking up at Jay. His eyes were huge as he looked down at me. When I tried to get to you, my foot went right through the floor, and the flashlight went flying. He froze when more boards crackled. We both ran out of the house and only stopped at the end of the driveway to look at the rope burn on our hands. Jay pulled out his phone. "Well, at least we set up the video to automatically send to your channel." I let him watch it as I lay back with my hand on my chest, heart beating like crazy. He shook my shoulder. "Dude, the floorboards below you were sticking up. If you fell, you would have been impaled on video." I looked at the phone, and for a split second, I wondered how many views that would have gotten. I set my phone to record and walked into the abandoned house. My best friend Jay was standing in the driveway with our emergency gear, including a rope, flashlight, and first aid, by his feet. "You got this. The challenge is..." My mom brought my dad his dinner plate and he threw it at the wall. "What is this garbage? I wouldn't feed this to a dog." My dad weighed 600 pounds and hadn't stood up from his recliner without...
Hey yo, it's that. Oh, it's Tyler Vitelli. It's Tyler. It's Tyler Vitelli. This Tyler. This is just a joke, Tyler Vitelli. Please don't mess with me.
help in 2 years, but me and my mom were extremely scared of him. I had never even stood up to him before, but as I watched my mom pick up the pieces of the broken dish, I knew something had to change. After 16 years of watching him hurt her, I stepped in front of her and looked at him. "She is not making you anything else, and you will never speak to her that way again, fatty." He looked at me completely shocked. "Excuse me?" Then his voice dropped. "You better not say another word." I shrugged. "Or what? What are you gonna do? Actually stand up from the couch for once?" I laughed, mocking him.
Yo, that's actually a good roast.
His face started turning red with anger. "You ungrateful little brat. Everything you have comes from me, and you want to stand there and disrespect me in my own house." He grabbed... Nobody at my school had talked to me in 3 years because I could not stop correcting everything anyone said. Then Devin raised his hand in history class and changed that. "Just want to remind everyone this test is 40% of our grade, and our grades literally determine our future." My hand shot up before I could stop it. "They literally don't, though." He turned around slowly. "Excuse me? Correlation is not causation." He smiled the way people smile when they think they are about to win. "Colleges look at grades, and getting into college changes your future, so they do matter." I laughed. "If grades determined futures, everyone with a 4.0 would be successful. But that isn't reality."
Bro, this is actually so good.
His smile fell off his face. "Good luck getting into college with that attitude." After class, a girl named Sophie stopped me in the hallway. "You joined debate. There's a full ride scholarship at the end of the year. Devin always enters, and this year the topic is participation trophies." That was all I needed to hear. I joined debate and won every round for 2 months until a sophomore caught me off guard with actual earnings data, and I froze for 3 seconds in front of everyone before I found the hole. Afterwards, words, Sophie pulled me aside. Devin hired a private college coach and has been training all year. He won't freeze. I sat in the empty classroom after she left and thought about 3 years of eating lunch alone because my brain wouldn't let me agree with anyone about anything. I had to make it all worth it. Devin showed up to the auditorium in a suit carrying a briefcase and looked at me like I was a child. You really think you can beat me? I smiled. Define beat. Devin went first, and he was so good that I felt the same 3-second freeze opening in my chest. The judges were nodding the whole time, and I sat there thinking about Devin telling me good luck getting into college. This scholarship was the only door I had. When it was my turn, I froze, and for 1 second, I had nothing. Then I found it. Define participation trophy for me. He smiled. A reward for showing up, not for being the best. You made the debate team even though you didn't win every practice round, right? He hesitated. Yes, but so you got to compete because you showed up and tried. That is a participation trophy. His smile cracked. So if participation trophies ruin kids, then you're ruined. But you're here telling me you're successful. So which is it? Devin closed his binder, and the head judge stood up. Congratulations, proposition. The audience clapped as the judge walked up and handed me the scholarship paperwork. Devin walked straight up to me, and I thought he was going to swing, but he put his hand out instead. I guess attitude gets you into college after all. Nobody at my school had talked to me in 3 years because I could not stop correcting everything Me and my brother followed a delicious scent to our neighbor's back garden barbecue, but when I saw the grill, I gasped. You! That's ours! We ran to bang on his front door. When he opened, we explained he'd taken our grill, and in response, he just laughed. Maybe this will teach you to keep things safe. We can call it character development. He slammed the door in our faces, and I turned to my brother. He wants the grill? Fine, but everything he cooks on it belongs to us. He raised an eyebrow, and I grinned. Meet me by the back fence, and all will be revealed. I ran to the garage and grabbed 2 fishing rods and carried them to my brother. Check me out. When no one was looking, I reeled it back, caught one of the cooked patties from the grill, and dropped it into my mouth. When our neighbor returned to his grill, he frowned. A seagull must have stolen one of the patties. After that, he camped by the grill, so we switched to strategies. My brother strolled back to the front door. Hey Dale, can we borrow some ketchup, please? And thank you. While Dale lectured him about respect, I swooped into his garden with my book bag wide open and finessed his entire table of hot dogs. I quickly jumped back over the fence, and when Dale returned to his empty table, he went red with anger, and I started throwing his food at him. He looked up at me with gravy dripping down his face. Give me back my food. I crossed my arms. Give us back our grill. He ignored me and put another patty on the grill with a huge smirk on his face. So I whipped out the fishing rod right in front of him, but instead of stealing the food again, I lifted him into a wedgie. He scrambled in the air to run away, and I started twirling him around. Now this is what you call peak character development. He was forced to watch as my brother wheeled our grill out of his garden and back to our house. I threw a hot dog into his mouth to reward him, and he smiled from how delicious it was. Worth it. Me and my brother followed a delicious scent to our neighbor's back garden barbecue, but when I saw the grill, I gasped. You! That's ours! We ran to bang on his front door. When he opened, we explained he'd taken our grill, and in response, he just laughed. Maybe this will teach you to keep things safe. We can call it character development. He slammed the door in our faces, and I turned to my brother. He wants the grill? Fine, but everything he cooks on it belongs to us. He raised an eyebrow. And I grinned. Meet me by the back fence, and all will be revealed. I ran to the garage and grabbed 2 fishing rods and carried them to my brother. Check me out. When no one was looking, I reeled it back, caught one of the cooked patties from the grill, and dropped it into my mouth. When our neighbor returned to his grill, he frowned. A seagull must have stolen one of the patties. After that, he camped by the grill, so we switched to strategies. My brother strolled back to the front door. Hey Dale, can we borrow some ketchup, please? And thank you. While Dale lectured him about respect, I swooped into his garden with my book bag wide open and finessed his entire table of hot dogs. I quickly jumped back over the fence, and when Dale returned to his empty table, he went red with anger, and I started throwing his food at him. He looked up at me with gravy dripping down his face. Give me back my food. I crossed my arms. Give us back our grill. A woman stepped out of her house red in the face and marched over to my car, tapping her nails on my roof. I'd broken down just minutes ago and couldn't move, but she leaned in and screamed at me to move. I replied, I'm sorry ma'am, but my car is broken down. But she cut me off and leaned through my window. I don't care if it's broken down. Just move right now. I stared at her in disbelief and told her slowly, my car is broken down. I cannot move it. Her face twisted in anger as she kicked my door so hard the alarm started blaring. Are you mocking me? Move it or I'm getting my boyfriend. She stormed away before I could respond, and her boyfriend immediately stepped out. What's the problem? He asked me. She pointed her finger at me before I could reply. This leech is parked here. Tell him to move. I calmly explained explained my car's broken down. Can you try turn it on? I put the key in the ignition, and nothing happened. He shook his head and immediately turned to the woman. Can't you see his car's broken down? But she flailed her arms. I don't know what that means. Just tell him to move. The man gripped his head while I started laughing because I couldn't believe this was happening. She instantly screamed, "He's laughing at us," and literally went to slap me, but he caught her hand. "No, he's laughing at you because you're being crazy." He exhaled, then walked back inside, while I rolled my windows up and called a recovery vehicle while staring right at her. The next morning later, I drove by the same house and saw her outside with boxes in her arms and tears in her eyes. The boyfriend was right there. "You're crazy," he told her. "That car breaking down was divine intervention because it showed me I shouldn't be with you." He slammed the door in her face, and when she turned around, she saw me parked in the exact same spot as yesterday, smiling at her. A woman stepped out of her house red in the face and marched over to my car, tapping her nails on my roof. I'd broken down just minutes ago and couldn't move, but she leaned in and screamed at me to move. I replied, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but my car is broken down." But she cut me off and leaned through my window. "I don't care if it's broken down. Just move right now." I stared at her in disbelief and told her slowly, "My car is broken down. I cannot move it." Her face twisted in anger as she kicked my door so hard the alarm started blaring. "Are you mocking me? Move it or I'm getting my boyfriend." She stormed away before I could respond, and her boyfriend immediately stepped out. "What's the problem?" he asked me. She pointed her finger at me before I could reply. "This leech is parked here. Tell him to move." I calmly explained my car's broken down. "Can you try turn it on?" I put the key in the ignition, and nothing happened. He shook his head and immediately turned to the woman. "Can't you see his car's broken down?" But she flailed her arms. "I don't know what that means. Just tell him to move." The man...
As I always say...
I sighed when my gym teacher dropped dead. It happened.
Already a deep start. Like already dead at 0.1 second.
When we were doing push-ups on the basketball court, Mr. Sawyer was demonstrating proper form when he dropped face first to the floor. Everyone froze waiting for him to come back up, but he just stayed there. The whole gym lost it. The paramedics came and worked on him for 12 minutes, but nothing. They called the time of death at 12:33, covered him with a white sheet, and carried him away. We all got sent home early that day. The next morning, we were back in school heading to gym class when I walked past his office and saw him sitting at his desk eating a bagel. He looked up and said, "Morning, ladies. Go give me 5 laps around the track." Kids started panicking and running the other direction. Some fainted, and I just stood there too stunned to move. "You died!" I screamed. He took another bite of the bagel. "Oh, that? Yeah, that happens sometimes." The principal called an assembly to try and explain it. Sawyer grabbed the mic and said, "I die. It's no big deal. Been happening since I was 12. Heart stops for a bit, and then I come back. Just think of it like a really poopy superpower." Parents lost their minds and lawyers got involved, but the court ruled you can't fire someone for a medical condition, even if that condition is dying on a regular basis. So we got used to it. Sawyer's dead again started coming over the intercom like it was a weather update. We'd pick him up, carry him to the nurse's office, and finish class with a sub until he woke back up. He even started wearing a bracelet that said, "If found dead, just wait 10 to 15 minutes. One afternoon, he died during parent-teacher conferences, slumped over face first, right into his coffee. Mrs. Baldwin started screaming so loud you could hear it down the hall. I was there helping file papers, so I looked up and said, "He'll be back." She grabbed my arm. "He's dead. Yeah, it's Monday. He always dies on Mondays." After that, the school put up a status board in the main hall. Green meant alive, and red meant temporarily dead. They updated it between classes like it was the lunch menu. Then came senior year, and our final basketball game. 10 seconds left, and Troy just hit a three-pointer to tie it up. We needed a timeout, but our coach was dead on the bench, so we did what Sawyer always taught us and adapted. Julian faked an injury to get the timeout, and we huddled around our temporarily dead coach and drew up the play ourselves, 1-2. When Sawyer came back, we were already celebrating. He looked at the scoreboard, then looked at us holding the trophy. "Did you win without me?" "Technically with you," I said. "Just the dead version." He smiled. "I'm in pre-med now studying cardiac conditions. My professor asked me why I chose this specialty. I told him my gym teacher died 47 times my senior year. Someone should figure out why he keeps coming back." I sighed when my gym teacher dropped dead. I was homeless and hadn't eaten in 3 days, but then I saw a sign saying, "Mega Burger Challenge. Free if you eat it all. $100 if you fail." I had no money, but my stomach was eating itself, so I knew I had to risk it. I walked into the diner with shaking legs, but when I told the owner I was here for the burger challenge, he immediately scoffed. "That's not for people like you. We both know you don't have $100. I was crushed and turned to leave, but then a waiter behind him tapped his shoulder. "Frank, our sign says anyone can try. That means him too." Frank's jaw tightened and he crossed his arms. "Fine. When he fails, I'll including Jennifer. I expect to see you all at gymnastics tryouts tomorrow. I laughed at first because I definitely wasn't going to the girls' gymnastics tryouts, until I noticed something after class that made my stomach turn. Every girl was huddled in a group, shaking and terrified, whispering to each other. I've heard rumors about Mr. Johnson's gymnastics. Last year he hit a girl, and she's now in a wheelchair because of him. I gasped. The day before I was due to leave for my 5-year prison sentence, someone knocked on my door. I opened it to 2 detectives who were already inviting themselves into my home. "We have a job for you that can make your prison sentence go away." We sat at the table, and he folded his hands. "We're trying..." "Arrest a mafia group, but we don't have any evidence of crime." The other detective smiled. "That's where you come in. Wear a wire tonight and get the job on tape." He slid me a photo of a man that looked identical to me. "This is the guy they hired for tonight. None of them have ever met him. They only know the stories, so that's who you'll be impersonating." I nodded because I knew there was no way I could go to prison, and they taped the wire to my chest. "Great. Head over to the corner right now. They're waiting for you, James." I walked out, and a black van rolled up, and the door slid open. "KLK Manuel." I walked in, and El Gordo in the driver's seat turned around, and his gold teeth were flashing. "Tonight we kidnapped the accountant who stole from me. You in?" I rolled my shoulders back, forcing myself to seem confident. "Yes." Flaco leaned in. "Why you sweating, hermano? You've done this 100 times." Every eye turned on me. "I just slept with another woman last week, and I don't want my wife to find out." For a second, there was silence, but then they all clapped me on the back. "Classic Manuel." I smiled. "So what's the plan tonight?" They explained everything to me while we drove, and I made sure to throw my head back so that the wire could catch every word. The van stopped and masks came over the seats, so I pulled mine on too, thinking the police would be there when we arrived. But the second we stepped off the van, footsteps came up behind us, and a man stepped into the streetlight wearing my face. It was the real Manuel. He pointed right at me. "Who is this?" Every gun came out, and El Gordo went quiet. "The real Manuel has the flags inked on his forearm." Manuel ripped his sleeve up to expose his crossed tattoos. Every gun swung to me, and the circle closed. El Gordo grabbed my collar. "Let me show you what we do to rats."